everyone. Before I jump into this video, I wanted to thank everyone for their well wishes and condolences and kind thoughts and kind words in regards to my brother's passing. I appreciate it, and I really do have the best followers in the world, and anyway, I'm very grateful, and it is helping quite a bit. But we're going to jump into this video. I was working on it because, I thought it might take my mind off things, but anyway, let's chat. So I'm going to jump into my regular intro, okay? Hello everyone, I'm Dawn. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for visiting with me today. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel, The Cutting Board. We do all kinds of content here. We do food-related content, shopping hauls, true crime, DIY, SFX makeup, regular makeup, vlogs, chit-chat, and most importantly, at least to me, Disney content. Now here is a bit of a warning. Some of you probably are not going to like everything I have to say in this video. I am going to take jabs at Emily because I don't trust her. I don't trust Amberlynn either, but they're made for each other. I think they're just both crappy people. But of the two, Amberlynn is the bigger problem, no pun intended. So in this video, I want to discuss Amberlynn Reed's "We have been in a relationship the whole time" live stream. And is this Amberlynn's chickens coming home to roost? Is that the saying? I think it is. And let me be clear. I read a comment on Emily's Insta that said, "You're the victim. You can speak your truth, blah, blah, blah." There is no victim here. These are two extremely toxic ABUSIVE women who may just deserve each other. So again, some of you may not like everything I have to say. You may not like anything I have to say, but I feel the way I feel, and my opinions aren't likely to change. I have watched Amberlynn since she first started. I've been watching her a long time, off and on. I have to take breaks from her. I've watched the train wreck develop. I know she's an ABUSIVE girlfriend. She was a nightmare for Casey and Beck to the point of PTSD. She was horrible to Destiny. I can't imagine she was any different with Crystal and Jade. So when she points out an ex-partner's bad behavior, I look at it as their reaction to her horrible mistreatment of them. I don't include Erica, Valentine in the equation because she and her wife are dog crap human beings. I'm sorry. They admitted the troll and they lied a lot through that. So they're dog shit. I'm sorry. They deserve whatever Amberlynn put them through. And Emily, in my opinion, is as toxic as Amberlynn. Maybe not quite as toxic as Amberlynn, but toxic. But again, I do understand her toxicity may be a reaction to Amberlynn's mistreatment of her. And if that's the case, then maybe I'm being a little too hard on Emily. But, I feel what I feel. She's a feeder. But what I'm not going to do is forget that she gets sexual gratification from feeding super morbidly obese women to death. She wants to come forward and give all the dirt on Amberlynn, and I'm sure Hecticana, Jordy, Karina, and especially Snowflake and all the others are, circle jerking that, and that's great for them. Yay! Keep up the work. By the way, I love Karina, so no hate to her at all, and Snowflake does a good job, and he's a cutie patootie, but they are just flat out wrong if they don't point out Emily's toxic crap. They are. Yes, Amberlynn is toxic as hell, and I hate that she uses BPD as her excuse for her behavior. It's her excuse for everything. That's not an excuse to treat people the way you do, Amberlynn. It's not. But I can't help believe a lot of what she has to say about Emily. I do believe a lot of it because I already have a low opinion of Emily, and that may be influencing that feeling. Now, Emily's behavior, again, may well be and probably is a direct result of Amberlynn's behavior. But remember, she gets off on watching huge people kill themselves with food. And almost as soon as the last woman died, she was scouring the internet for another big mama she could feed to death. She was. And that's what she does. And that is ABUSE, in my opinion. And personally, I think it's something that should be looked at from a legal standpoint. But she was probably looking for more big ass before the woman even died. And it's disgusting to me. And she was on it. She was on it almost as soon as the woman died. And Amberlynn mentioned in the live Emily talking to other women, not necessarily cheating, micro cheating, as she says. It depends on the content of the conversations. But Amberlynn spent all of her previous relationships talking to other women because she always had one lined up. So I don't want to hear about betrayal from Amberlynn. I don't want to hear about it. And of course, betrayal can be more than cheating. It could be a betrayal of trust in many other ways. But it doesn't matter. In my eyes, Amberlynn has betrayed everyone in her life, especially her ex-girlfriends. So we're going to go over some clips from her live. And mind you, I do believe that this is her attempt at damage control. I think we all realize that. If this is all real, I mean, I know Snowflake has his interview or whatever and and it posted, I know that. But just because Emily is talking doesn't mean she's telling the truth. Probably is the truth, but she's still going to spin it to try and make herself look better, just like Amberlynn does. But anyway, she wants to paint a picture, so paint away. She might get some grace. She thinks she might get some grace, Amberlynn, anyway. And that's not how the ALR viewers work, because people who watch Amberlynn and critique her are smart. And she should know that by now. She calls us all stupid, but come on. She actively attempts to gaslight her audience at every turn. Her girlfriends, content creators, etc. But I do think it's an attempt at damage control, obviously. And listen, I do quite like Snowflake. I like Hecticana. I love Karina. She's one of my favorites. Because when I watch her, I feel like we're having a chit-chat together, having some coffee, bitching, whatever. And of course, I really enjoy Apathetic Facts. And there's another whose name is escaping me right now. I like Abigail too, but there's another one, and I don't know. But I'd love for all of them to remember, just because Amberlynn is a liar doesn't mean other people around her can't be liars too. I think both her and Emily are horrible, toxic, ABUSIV, so.
I should have put the word toxic in the title.
She should have, but we all know anyway.
And then I get another text, I have video proof of you being terrible to me. Yes. A video proof of me reacting to your betrayal, me unmedicated with BPD. Correct. Stop texting me.
So Emily has video proof. That's great, whatever. I know we're all waiting for it. I want to see it. But that doesn't mean Emily is Little Miss Innocent. She filmed Amberlynn. She didn't film her behavior. I think that chick is a snake. I do. But again, mental illness is no excuse to be horrible to someone. I don't care if her BPD is unregulated and untreated. It's no excuse. It's no excuse. And if Emily was so awful, why stay with her? Why would you do that? Amberlynn is painting her Emily out as an absolute C word, and she should have dumped her when the so-called mistreatment started. Is it that awful to be alone that you would be mistreated? And in Snowflake's video, she mentions red flags she saw when Amberlynn came to visit. But Amberlynn is a walking red flag, so I don't feel a bit sorry for Emily. She wanted another feedie to victimize. That's what she wanted. And Amberlynn wanted another girlfriend to mistreat. They're both gross. And, I'll probably give more notes to Snowflake's video. It's in his Under the Hood channel, though. But this video is about Amberlynn's life, so I'm going to try and stick to that. I don't really know if I believe Emily and Amberlynn have been in a relationship this whole time. Maybe they have been, but personally, in my opinion, if that's the case, then they are both idiots, which, they are anyway. Neither one of them have any business in a relationship until they both, especially Amberlynn, thoroughly work on themselves, because they both need serious therapeutic intervention.
Someone asked on Reddit, how do you think Amberlynn would be when she lost weight? My girlfriend replied, she'd probably look like melting ice cream or a melted candle. My girlfriend behind my back was calling me Porcahontas.
First, I want to say when I was at my heaviest, I used to call myself Porcahontas. So I kind of chuckled at that part, not out of meanness to Amberlynn, but just because it just reminded me of that horrible, awful period of my life. But if someone that I was in a relationship called me Porcahontas, they would very quickly become put through the frickin' Wallahontas. But I think it was Hecticana who had questioned this portion, stating that if she was a feeder, Emily, why would she say things like that? She would think that she wants you to be happy and comfortable in your body, etc. I don't necessarily agree with that. Feeders who are deep into their own mental illness, because feederism is a mental illness, make no mistake. They're going to want to do something that is going to encourage their super morbidly obese victim or subject or object of affection to eat and eat, and sometimes putting someone down, making them feel horrible about themselves. That is going to drive them to eat. That might start a binge, and that it's feederism as intimate partner violence by use of coercive control. That's what that is. I don't necessarily believe that's what's going on here. It could be, it might be, but as controlling as Amberlynn is, she will do anything to keep a girlfriend except be decent. I think that if Emily said these things, it was a reaction to treatment she received from Amberlynn, or just her being a dirty bitch. Either way, there's no excuse for either one of their behavior. Although, well, no, I take that back. There is an excuse for Emily's behavior, because if she's just a nasty person to Amberlynn because of her treatment, then I'm totally off base in judging her. But I can't get past the whole feederism thing. But who can really blame her if that's the case? But again, all the red flags existed before she even got in a relationship with Amberlynn. There is no excuse for Amberlynn's behavior. But in my opinion, they are both horribly toxic and abusive people.
My back, you wouldn't even, when I was in Wisconsin, I genuinely was the most miserable I've been. And I had to literally fake that shit real good. I had to fake that shit real good. Because it's like, it's hard to be like human.
Then why did you stay? Why did you bring all your pets? Please help me understand that. She expected Emily to live her life just for her, and if she didn't, she got upset. And she thought that this whole thing would become, hey, don't go home, stay with me forever. That's why she brought her pets. But she thinks her girlfriends owe her everything, and another human being doesn't owe you anything, Amberlynn. Not even a romantic partner. She uprooted her pets and took them from where they were comfortable to see a girlfriend. You know, that soft love girlfriend. She had an illusion of what it would be like. She thought Emily was going to be like, oh, Amber, I love you so much. Please stay. Don't ever leave. And that's not quite how it worked out for Amberlynn. Despite how I feel about Emily, she still has to live her life. She has her work. She has her own family, her own things going on that do not go away because Amberlynn comes to visit. Okay? It's not all about you, Amberlynn. It's not.
I've been afraid to say anything this whole time. Because, like, I did not want to hurt her. And she wanted nothing to do with online. But then she would say all these awful things. And it's like anything that happened in Wisconsin, like any argument that happened in Wisconsin was due to a betrayal that I found out that she was doing right next to me. Literally right next to me. Imagine having BPD, unregulated, unmedicated, and finding out just betrayal, 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 betrayal. Like,
So I'm going to sound like a broken record by the end of this video, but your mental illness is not an excuse for your behavior. Mental illness isn't your fault, but it is your responsibility, and you should be in active treatment, Amberlynn. If it is that out of hand, you need to be in active treatment. And I do think Emily sucks as a person. I realize that. But they are both dangerous, unsafe people. And I'm still not convinced that Emily's behavior isn't a direct result of Amberlynn's behavior. Except for the feederism, but that's another thing. Neither one of these heifers is going to see where they're wrong. They're not. It's outrageous to me.
like, yes, share that. Yes, don't. And I just got a text from her saying, I'm going to release the video then to prove how you are. I'm literally half naked in that video, so please don't. I would appreciate that. That was me in a BPD meltdown. I'm literally half naked. You threatening me repeatedly. Like, literally, she's threatening me as I'm on here, you guys. Like, as I'm on here.
Um, Emily is gross to me, but there goes Amberlynn using BPD again. You don't get to act like a lunatic and then scream mental illness. Whoops, sorry I broke all your shit. It was my BPD. Not my fault. Mm-mm.
And it makes me not want to protect her anymore. It genuinely makes me not want to protect her anymore.
Wow. Amberlynn Hero Reed. This is Darvo, if I've ever seen it. Honestly, her live and the second live she did the same day are ABUSIVE in their own right. To her audience, the lives are clear examples of hyper manipulation.
Because it's finally my turn. It's finally my turn. It's finally my fucking turn. So, since we're both sitting on our phones in her truck, um, I saw her talking to this girl named Andrea. Oh, don't worry. This is about Rarity. This is about how it all happened. I see her talking to the girl named Andrea. And flashback 2 weeks prior, I saw her talking to Andrea and they were talking badly about me. And I was like, who's Andrea? Obviously. And she tells me it's a girl from work. So my gut feeling tells me that's a fucking lie and I do not believe it whatsoever. So I just let it go. Okay. Then it was a week ago. I mean, at the time we're sitting in that truck. I'm talking about Rarity night, okay? Please just give me a second. Thank you, Daisy. I see Andrea again. And I was like, why do you keep like talking badly, being suspicious with this Andrea girl? Andrea girl. Oh, just this girl from work. And I was like, well, can you stop talking badly about me? Blah 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 blah. And I then find out that night because I kept telling her something feels off. I find out that night that this is a hater, someone that genuinely hates me more than anything in this world, that Emily became friends with. And they would just sit there and talk bad while I'm literally sleeping next to her in her fucking bed, bro. What the fuck? So I told her, I was like, please stop talking to her because that fucking hurts. Like, that genuinely hurts me. I would never do that to you, ever. So I believe that she would never talk to her again. Wow. here we are, sitting in her truck again, and her stupid little message pops up, and then I see that they're talking again. Literally again. It's like betrayal after betrayal after betrayal. So then I say, "Let me see your phone. Let me see your phone, because I don't deserve this." Like, genuinely, I don't. And I don't know why, but, like, I'm telling you, instincts are crazy. Instincts are crazy. I go into her little, what's it called? It's like where you can see what apps you were on that day or whatever. And I noticed that she was on Sorry, honestly, Honestly, I wanna sit here and say, "I'm sorry, Emily, for doing this, but I have to. This isn't fucking fair. This is not fair, and you've done this." Like, why do I wanna just keep protecting her? I'm fucking sick, bro, like, I'm genuinely sick. She messaged me and said, "You need to stop this immediately." Then why did you do what you did? Why? Everything. Why did you do everything that you did to me? Ugh, so I went on the iPhone, if you guys don't know, there's a, you can, like, see what apps you were on that day, how long you've spent on there, whatever it may be. And I noticed that she was on Tumblr. It was, like, the most random thing in the world because, like, me and her were, like, very open. I don't wanna say what I saw. Okay, just know that what I saw her looking at on Tumblr literally broke me. Because when I saw that, again, it was my instinct. My instincts were like, "Why is she on Tumblr?" Immediately, it's almost like I knew. So I instantly went to her Tumblr app, bam, in my face. Okay, I don't wanna go into detail, genuinely, I don't. Okay, and then I kept going. I noticed that there was this app, not an app, a website. Oh, I don't wanna talk about it. Just know that I saw things and read things and seen things that literally broke me and destroyed me, okay? Like, look at me, I look like a fucking freak. This is how I looked almost every day in Wisconsin, might I add. And now she's gonna show me fucking naked having a BPD meltdown because of her betrayal constantly. Anyways, so long story short, I just found out a million different things that literally broke me. Like, genuinely, I felt like I was in a different state away from my mom. Like, I was like, "This cannot be real. My god, it cannot be real." I got really fucking upset, obviously. Anyone, even mentally well people would have been pissed, would have been so fucking hurt. Probably marriages would have been divorced, like, that type of deal, okay? Oh my god, I feel like I'm gonna. So, we get in a big fight, duh. No, I never destroyed her ex's photo. So we get in a big fight. I'm telling you, it was off the chain. It was big because duh, like it was a lot, and neither of us, I can admit that, know how to handle. Look how crazy I look right now. Neither of us know. Oh, we're getting to the rarity. Neither of us know how to handle fucking. So the argument was so fucking bad that I think it was like 5 a.m. or something. I don't even know. She ended up leaving her home through the kitchen door, which is the sliding glass door. She left, and my favorite part of this whole thing is she likes to say that I was you guys see me. I'm over 500 pounds. I walk very slow. Like, I'm a slow mover, okay? Like, um, this, I don't wanna share it, is Amber subconscious telling her not to lie. No, actually, it's Amber subconscious still being a decent human, and also it's embarrassing for me. It's embarrassing for me too. So fuck you, Rachel. Sit on and spin. So fucking stupid. Nothing I'm saying is a fucking lie. Oh my god, people are so fucking dumb and just don't even know how to use their head 9 times out of 10. So anyways, we get in a really fucking bad argument. She leaves through the glass door, leaves the door open. I did not notice because I did not go near the door. I did not go near the door.
Wait, I thought they were in Emily's truck. When did they get to the kitchen? Am I missing something? And Emily actively threatening Amberlynn while the live is going on. Chicks, man. They're both crazy.
Meltdown from betrayal and constant I'm gonna I think she's a narcissist. I've never said that about anyone in my life, but something is just not adding up. And I tried so
What? What does she mean? What does she mean she's never called anyone a narcissist in her life? She literally has called almost every single reaction channel narcissist. And here's the thing. Both of these women saw the red flags. They both knew that how horrible each other was and chose to ignore them. And all of us, or most of us, tried to tell Amberlynn this chick was dangerous. Did we not? Did we not? And I know Emily got warnings as well. There are literally years of videos throwing warning signs at her. But she was like, maybe she was one of those girls was like, you know, like with the men, the evil men, they're like, oh, I can change him. Maybe she thought, I can change Amberlynn. Maybe she thought that. I don't know.
all of that. Ugh, 'cause that's how fucking messed up I am. It's just so fucked. And then that fucking Andrea girl that she would fucking talk to, I ended up messaging her and I was just like, can you please leave Emily alone? Like, it's weird. She ended up messaging me this whole thing about how much she hates me, and I'm like, how can Emily correspond with someone like this if she's supposed to be in love with me? Like, I don't get it.
Is Andrea real? I don't know if this girl is real, but if she is, she's Lulu too. But to comment real quick on Snowflake's Emily video, I believe what she has to say. I do believe her, but she could also be using what exes have said about Amberlynn and spinning them to suit this scenario. But I don't know. I am obviously not a supporter of Emily, but between the two, Amberlynn is the one that has a provable, documented on YouTube history of lying and denying. So again, is this Amberlynn's chickens coming home to roost? Have potential future girlfriends figured out that Amberlynn is a dangerous person to be in a relationship with? Towards the end, and after Beck's relationship with Amberlynn, they became not only mentally exhausted and had to be, put on meds due to the trauma Amberlynn caused her, but physically ill. Casey was very young when he was involved with Amberlynn, and his trust and sense of mental safety was seriously damaged. You can't treat person after person after person like your own little punching bags and think that there aren't going to eventually be consequences. So instead of sitting on a live stream and crying about how your victimization, get off your ass and genuinely seek help. That Zoloft is great, but it isn't a cure. Active therapy needs to be going on. She's so concerned about herself and what others think of her, apparently, but doesn't give a damn about what she has done to other people. And even if she does commit to therapy, she has to be truly honest, or it's not going to work. It's all pointless. She wants ass pats. That's what she wants. And I don't believe she is ever going to fix herself. And what a monster she is. Narcissists rarely do, because she is a narcissist. But that's really all of the live I'm going to go through right now. It's really long, but maybe I'll talk more about other parts of it later. Snowflake's video for sure. But those are the parts I really wanted to touch on. Do you want to know? Oh, you want to know what I'd really like? You want to know what I would really, really like? I would love to hear Beck analyze this live stream. That would be interesting. I think she'd have some good insight. I really do. Destiny and Casey too, for sure. But they're probably exhausted with all the Amberlynn stuff and just want to move on. But anyway, I think, or at least I hope, that Rarity just found another home. Someone found this beautiful, sweet cat and was like, I'm gonna give this kitty a home. And she's fine and she's thriving and she's just got a new family now. At least that's what I'm going to continue to believe. But yeah, this sounds like a total shit show. I know everyone wanted me to get on here and completely bash on Amberlynn and be really nice to Emily. That's not going to happen. I think Emily is a piece of shit. And I don't think Amberlynn is being responsible with her mental health, and that's her problem. And she's never been responsible with her mental health, and she needs to stop getting into relationships and learn how to treat people, and she needs to work on herself a lot. Amberlynn has been horrible to all her past girlfriends and their friends and families. So, don't get me wrong. I know what Amberlynn is. I know how she treated Beck, which pisses me off because I was a big fan of Beck. I know how she treated Casey and Destiny, and I'm sure Jade and Crystal, and even Eric and Ricky. And that voice memo to Beck's mom pisses me off to this day. I know that she has been and will probably continue to be a nightmare person, and her mental illness is not an excuse for her behavior. But she is not the only one to blame for the toxicity in this current relationship. I think she may be the bigger person to blame, again, no pun intended, but not the only one. But anyway, that's all I have to say. I'll talk to everyone later, and I want to thank everyone again who has sent me condolences regarding my brother. I appreciate it very much, and it does help. But I'll talk to everyone later. Bye-bye.